BSO Kinfolk, we are back with another one. We have a very interesting interaction from Kendra's For the Love of Rich broadcast, if you want to call it that, between Kendra, Rich, and contestant number 6, and Alatisha Williams. They had a very when we watched the contest, we want to highlight the interaction that they had midway. So here we are. We're going to tune in and we'll chop it up from there. So if you guys are not familiar, go back and watch that video first or whatever. Come back on in here. We'll break it down. But anyway, let us begin.
All right, Ann, you're next. I want you to know. Here we go. Hi, Ann.
How are you?
How are you? So, Ann, this is Rich. You're finally here. So let's talk about it. What made you want to submit when you saw Rich's initial video?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I was looking into his eyes, more or less. I like to gaze. And when he was talking and then he started smiling with the dimples, I did kind of go blank. I didn't hear hardly much. I was just like, wow, okay, that's different. And then he continued on talking about his son. And I'm very passionate about my children. I have 2, one 25 and one 9. My 25-year-old is on her own. And I have my daughter. But
all right. Now
I don't know what to say to that, KG. You gazed in my eyes and Lord have mercy.
Yeah. See, your profile looks way different than when you're in person and you're talking.
Okay.
It's totally different. You look like someone I know also, and I'm like, do I know him? And I'm like, no, I don't know him, but it felt like that. That's what it felt like.
Okay. I don't think we brought you to social media, right?
No.
Okay, so she stayed in the app, but one of the things that you said in your initial interview is everything you touch turns to gold.
How you remember that, Kim?
Because I interviewed you.
Different person.
That's good.
She Queen Midas or something?
Yes. Gold digger.
Because
Queen Midas.
Yeah, because
Midas
then King Midas,
Mm-hmm.
then everything he touched turned to gold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these biddies was in here trying real hard to get
Wasn't
rich.
they? Weren't they? Yeah, y'all was doing the whole monkey to get up here in front of Rich.
She said all of
10
that.
And the rest of them that didn't make it.
Okay, let's continue on.
I did the interview.
It's more or less like when I walk in a room, I'm going to get that attention. You know what I mean? As far as I can get my way. I can speak to whatever needs to be spoken to. And it's like a chameleon. Wherever we go, I'm gonna be able to blend in.
That's not a good thing.
Ooh. Let's do the Kendra can.
Let me see.
Oh, he's gonna listen. See. I'm sorry, I gotta turn it around a little bit.
I don't know if she's gonna do it for me. You did a body roll for me inside the app.
Body roll.
Okay. Ooh, we got the pink. Are we doing? Ooh.
Hey.
That was a baby.
Sorry about the baby. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
A body roll, ma'am. What y'all are going to find out that this woman got some strong convictions about no sex until marriage. It's strong. It's very strong. So
glazing in eyes and body rolling, but no cap. Okay.
Her gaze became a glaze.
Okay.
Okay. Continuing on. We're gonna get to the good part.
No. She's inside the app. She did a body roll, child. Ann was the player. All right, Rich, you have any questions for Ann? We're calling her Ann because we can call you Ann, right? Yeah. I know her name looks way more difficult.
It's Alatisha.
Alatisha, yeah. Ann. Where you say you located?
South Carolina.
South Carolina, what part?
Greenville.
Okay, I was there not too long ago for a football talk.
That's what's up.
So you say you have a 9-year-old daughter?
Yes.
Okay. And how old was your oldest?
25.
25. You want more kids?
I do. I want at least one more. I've been trying to get a boy.
Okay.
The boys didn't happen. I have 2.
Okay.
How old are you again, Ann?
Yeah.
I'm 42.
Okay, 42. Gotcha. Okay.
And when was your S relationship?
My younger daughter's father. So about 9 years ago.
9. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And when was the last time you had sex?
I'm gonna say about 4 years ago. It's been about 4 years because I was living in a certain area it's been about 3 years that I've been there. So it's been about 4 years.
Wow. Okay. All right. Preserved. I like it.
So Ann, are you waiting for marriage or a relationship?
I'm waiting for marriage because I heard God tell me instantly. So when I felt that little, or whatever that connection was, when I looked into his eyes, I said, okay, God, if it's not for me, it won't happen. And when you emailed me and said I was in the top 10, I said, okay, well, all I can do is go with the flow, and however God is leading this is how he's leading it. I think I want to wish every woman, good luck, because it is what God wants at the end of the day. So.
Just so we clear, God want what? God, when she saw Rich and gazed into his eyes, she knew instantly?
That's what she said. I don't know about that one. They was selling it. I guess it's part of the, you had to get through the rest of the thousands or hundreds or whatever. So you had to put a little extra sauce on it.
I'm just trying to get clarity on what God said. Because, if you go watch the other videos, newsflash, she didn't make it. She didn't get picked. She got booted off of there.
Spoiler.
And all the other women got booted too. The old biddy was the last one up, and she still didn't get picked. That wasn't his pick. So nobody got to go on the date with Rich. Nobody got to marry Rich, whatever they were trying to do. So
Most High said nay.
He intervened, I guess. I don't know. But continuing on.
Okay. And God said you're not having sex until you're a wife.
From now, yeah. Because I repented. Because at the end of the day, we're all growing every single day. No one is perfect. Okay. But when it comes to growth and you're trying your best to get out of a situation, you ask God to help you. And the first thing he told me to do was repent and come away from what I was doing. So that's what I did.
All right. How long have you been celibate for?
It's been 4 years.
Oh, it's right, 4
Abstinent.
years. Okay. Rich, could you hold it down to the wedding night?
Not celibate.
No.
Okay.
And this is the point where they started contradicting each other. I guess when you think about it, if you go back, when she said that she hadn't had none since 4 years ago, Rich whole face changed.
It did. But
it just
not
dropped
in the way you would think. Yeah. It wasn't exciting. He was like, oh man.
Nah.
Right.
No, and look at his face right now. He lost interest. No.
Yep.
No. I don't want to hear nothing else. Bye. And this lady here, she is, again, she's strong in her convictions of no sex to marriage. Okay. But she's thinking that Rich, he proclaimed to be a Christian. That, hey, Rich, you're a Christian. You would be on the same type of time as me.
Yep. That's what she thought.
That's what she thought. Rich and lost interest.
Yep.
And then the other thing that we have to consider is, I think he said, I'm a faithful Christian, or you gotta. He kept talking about that faith.
Christianity.
Right.
Did.
He kept talking about that. And so this biddy and took it as, you a man of God, Rich.
I think
she thinking you withholding as well.
Right. Abstaining, not celibacy. They don't even know what's the difference. Well, this one here. Yeah, so you're celibate? No, she's abstaining. Celibacy is a vow. Monks, nuns, those types. Like you not doing it. Like, you know, I'm out. Abstinence, you trying not to do it. She's sampled the waters and she's trying not to go back. She's abstinent, not celibate. But I think that, you know, based on Anne's story, you know, she was probably a little out there. I don't know if she was ever married, but she was 17. When she had her baby, she was 25 now. She's 42. Maybe she was out there, and you know, there's a trope, you know, when women get out there or they've been to the edge or been took through there, then they go to God and then they stand on those principles. Like she's trying to, like, I guess what we would call overcompensate. And I think Rich was just throwing it out there. Like, I'm not saying he doesn't believe in God at all, but he ain't no church going Christian brother like that. Like he throws it out there so it can increase, you know, his boom output. That's what I think. So we got somebody who's overselling their Christianity to a person who's probably more fanatical about being a Christian. She's trying to live to the letter of the law, probably. You know what I mean? Something like that. Yeah. That's what I think was going on. But anyway.
I mean, and it's nothing. What she's doing is nothing wrong with it. Let me just be clear.
Right.
If you're not married, you're supposed to wait until marriage. So she's doing it, like you said, to the letter of the law. And then she's expecting Rich to do the same because he's not married. My thing is, why are you not in church looking for a man with those same convictions? Or even like a Christian dating site.
Right. Christian mingle, this is not.
Right, this is not Christian mingle, ma'am. You know? So I just got to say that. It's not. This is the clown show. And he's just, his level of spirituality, Christian, is not your level. So it's mixed match.
Yeah, let's say that. Right. Let's safely say that. They're not equally yoked, if you want to put it in those terms. But anyway, let us continue.
You can't do it? No.
How is that? You know, you said you're God, right? And I understand.
Rich, your camera. Rich, we should have got you a phone. Your camera went out, Rich. Ooh, child. He said no, and then the camera went out. Child, the camera don't went out. Rich said, okay. Ooh, child. I'm gonna get him back. I'm gonna take him off for 1 second while he get it together, child. Rich, I'm removing you, and I'll bring you back on once your camera come back on. But yes, first of all, I respect your honesty, because if that's your non-negotiable and you make it clear. But is that an easy?
You started talking about soul ties, and that's the main way you build those soul ties. I mean, like, let's just say we do that and he decides that I'm not the person for him. However, there's a connection that is made. And so, I mean, I feel like it's better to talk about things. And if we are going to be God-fearing, let's pray about some things and get God involved and let him tell us what we got to do.
You think that he going to sit up there and pray with you before he hit it?
That's not going to happen, sister. I'm sorry,
now,
Ann.
sis. Hold on now. Wait a minute.
Sorry.
See, and let me just say this. When he was talking about the soul ties, I don't remember where he was. I remember him saying it, but I don't know what part of the video he was saying it. It's in the full video. But that father convinced her that he was on the same level of spirituality as her.
He was speaking her language.
Yes.
But he really didn't mean it.
Right.
Nothing behind it.
So,
this is the overselling, you know. I guess they, you know, the comments, Kendra's cousins, the comment section called him out for overselling and being, you know, presenting himself like he's the be all end all. And I think, you know, this is one of them things, but he got caught out there. She took him for his words, and he wasn't on that type of time in the long run. Now, Kendra is going to give us some pushback, and they're going to have their little one-on-one while he's off the screen. So let's see how that turns.
And if you are in tune with God, he will tell you whether or not it's through a vision, a dream, or someone.
Here's the deal. I absolutely believe that you should not be giving up your cookies to anybody. I believe you should be in a relationship if that's what you desire. Okay, Rich is back. If that's what you desire, let me bring it back on. I hear this a lot, and I do want to deep dive with this because I get a lot of women like you, Ann, who have stated, and then sometimes mothers that they're no longer having sex until their wedding night. Rich, from the male's perspective, do you think that's going to be a strong deal breaker for a lot of men?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't rush it, but once there is a heavy commitment, like I said, at this big age, what are we waiting for? I get it, but we've already been there. We've already been down that. I understand the repentance. I understand all of that. I'm a Christian man. I get it. But at the same time, as we start to build something and we start to cross bridges and we're trying to figure out if this is going to be something that's going to be our last and final situation, I feel like that is something that we need to make sure solidified. I told you it's important to me, right? Sex is very important to me. And I think some people think that sex is, once again, you wait till the wedding night and then we're not compatible for whatever reason. Then what?
You have to understand that
Rich is saying that the sex is more important than his relationship with God. Just being honest.
He said heavy commitment. See, all three of these people have a different level of commitment that where it would take to have sex. I don't know what the hell Rich talking about. We know Kendra, all you got to do is, you're my girlfriend, and then you good. We straight, and you do whatever and whatever. And Ann talking about we ain't until after the altar. We ain't sampling nothing. There's nothing. You dead over here. So it's like heavy. He said heavy commitment. What does that mean? That's vague.
I don't know, like, Rich. What does that mean? 3
different levels here. We got, we got everybody's story, but none of them have a consensus of when you should give it up. And then he said, just right now, he said, he's a Christian man, he understands, but I got to sample the goods.
Right. It's important to me.
Then I don't think you should be running around talking about how high your Christianity is and you devout, because that goes against the book. I don't think that book had an age. I don't think that scripture had an age. Now we're in a different time now, so we have to take our own liberties. Nobody's a virgin here, so maybe we should be looking at that a little differently. But he says he's a Christian, meaning you go by the book. She's definitely going by the letter of the book, and that is. And Kendra just doing whatever Kendra want to do, and with a Christianity.
I don't think Kendra give it up anyway.
Right. Period. You can do all that, and you still not getting none.
I don't think she give it up anyway. But yeah, you're right. It's various levels of Christianity on the screen. They all believe in something else. At different stages, you give it up. So. Yeah, this is so crazy. So, wow. I mean, this is this is time for a question. Guys, let's say that you're dating someone, this lady, and she says no sex till marriage. You going or no? Do you got questions for her? How you feel about that? True. So just let us know how you feel about it.
This should be some interesting answers coming back here. But let's continue.
We're talking to a Cancer. I mean, I understand. I'm not going with the zodiac, but I know what I'm doing, and I have done it very well. But I do also refrain because I didn't want 1,000 kids just randomly. I didn't want kids out of wedlock. It just happened that way. Yeah. I was engaged once, and my daughter has a brother the same age, so it did not work out. And I understand.
That makes sense. Like I said, no disrespect. No, and I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. I just want to see.
You gotta prove it. I got a question. So I think I missed that. So Ian, you have 2 kids.
Yes.
Okay, and then you've never been married.
No.
Follow along, so Kendra. I will say this. I've been hosting the show for 6 years. That's what people will say is that I respect it as a woman, but I have heard men say, you're a mom, obviously, so you've already did it. You brought life into the world, and now I have to wait until the wedding night to have sex. Now, I'm not saying that you're supposed to give it up to him on the first date either. No. That's not what I'm preaching at all. But I think that we're here for Rich, but I think this is an overall insightful lesson on both accords. What would you say to, if it doesn't, move forward with Rich or whatever, to the next person that would probably feel that way? Like now you want to be abstinent after you had 2 children.
Well, I mean, I feel like there should be a spiritual connection. My thing is this: if I don't feel your aura, if we're not in a chemistry, our chemistry is bad, I'm not going any further than that. But I feel like let that happen first. Let the connection happen, and if by means you see that I may be the one, then move on. But if you do not see any potential, don't bother me with that, with the whole, let me try it. And then you have no.
That way, I would mean as we moving forward. I get what you're. Yeah, so I mean, I'm saying as we progressing into something, I'm not saying just let me try it out. No, that's ignorant. So I mean,
yeah, this is another symptom. I know me and Queen spoke about this before. I might have said this on the show, probably did. But men don't like locked doors. You understand what I'm saying? Like just a ruling. If that's what type of time you was on and going forward, like as we're, connecting and vetting and all that, if that's the type of time you was on, and I can, come to find out during our growth, like I could probably deal with that. I could probably rock with that because I'm rocking with you. Okay, we talking, we chopping up, we vetting. I like what's going on, the vibe, everything is good. If you introduce that in a more organic sense, maybe I think men might be able to take that a little better. Well, let me speak for myself. I would be able to take that a little better. But to rule it out just off the rip, like there's no way, that's not done, it's not happening. There's no, we can connect all this, all that, but you're going to have to do anything, whatever it is. If it's 90 days, if it's marriage, if it's any kind of barrier like that, like that's a locked door. And I don't think men in relationships like locked doors. If the door is closed and it can be open, maybe you might, she might change her mind or make an exception, her rules. Well, not even her rules, but whatever her standard is, she might change that because of you and the vibe and whatever's going on in the vetting. But just to lock the door off the bat, men don't like that. Well, I know I never like that. And I've spoke to brothers who said the same thing, who were in agreement that now you don't do it like that. If that's something you're on and those are your convictions and you can stand on that. But when you introduce it like out the gate, it just has a different connotation to it. It's easier to swallow as we go forward. You know what I mean? Anyway, let us continue.
Say that as no, I didn't mean that, love. I'm just saying, like, if we were dating and we're in a committed relationship, and I'm saying I'm exclusively talking to you and gazing in each other's eyes, and you gazing at me, and you looking at the dimple, and I'm looking back at you, you gonna tell me just to go to bed and hold myself? That ain't gonna. I'm gonna roll over into something warm.
Well, okay, I get you.
Okay.
I understand. Mm-hmm.
You understand that better?
Kendra sitting up here like a schoolgirl, like she never heard mature conversation before.
Your little sister on the phone when you knacking out with your shorty and all, and she on the other line listening with something over the receiver.
Roll into something warm. Oh, he's talking about cat. He's talking about coochie. Ew, mama. She's this boy on the other line is talking about coochie. Calm down, Kendra. You're a big 46-year-old woman. Act like you
never had these conversations before. Come on now. Come on.
Can't.
Yeah, because there's going to be a transition. I mean, the marriage, especially at this big age, like I said, we've got kids, we've got things to work. Like there's going to be a longer time frame before. It's not like we are kids and we're like, oh, boom, we can get married and it's just me and you and we don't have to worry about anybody else's lives and we can just go right into this thing. There's going to be a transition of you getting used to my child, me getting used to your child, you getting comfortable. All of those things that's going to take some time.
Right.
So the
and
sex
so while that takes time,
blend that all together smoothly
during that time frame as well. So not only am I coming in to be a stepfather and take on additional responsibility, which is I'm okay with, but now you're saying I've also got to abstain. I just don't think that'll work.
Okay.
I think the greater issue here is that, when women come in talking about no sex until marriage, Okay, fine. But you're just automatically taking it off the table before we even know if it's on the table. Do you even like him enough to potentially want to marry this man and have a life with him? It's just like, it's like a big no sign. Stop. No. Do you even like him?
Right.
Do you even like him to even go out with him? Because I don't believe you should go out with someone if you don't like them.
I agree with you. I totally agree.
You're
wasting time.
You're wasting time. Like, and then just, oh, no sex. I'm not having sex with you. Dang. Nobody even asked you for that.
That's a fact.
And I really think that if you're on this type of time, if your convictions is that strong, like I said, I don't think that's wrong because that's what the Bible says, you should do. Why are you not? You would need to be in a space that would facilitate that. Again, on a Christian dating app, not this worldly show. You are a spiritually, like a Christian-minded woman about the kingdom, about the spirit, right? But you on a worldly show asking for a Christian man of the same spiritual connection for him to be on the same level as you. When you'll have a better chance of finding that probably on a Christian dating app or in the church, if there's any men left in the church.
Right.
So and then the other thing, I think you're going to have to live your life in a way that shows this is the type of woman I am. That where when he sees your life, okay, that's a nice virtuous woman.
Right.
Christian woman. I could see why she's on that type of time.
Right.
I see it. I get it.
You can respect that.
But when you
not getting no cat, that's like personal. Like you trying to like point it at me. Like you just want to walk with God.
And then the other part of this is like, then you're sending sexual signs and rolling your body, and we're gonna get into the conversation. It's coming up where it's like even more sexual. Like, okay, well, you didn't. I feel like she didn't. This is what maybe her thinking is. I didn't reel him in with the Christianity piece. That wasn't a real. That wasn't a bait. Now I'm going to say how sexual of a being I am. Don't. Now you're starting to think of me as non-sexual.
True.
Now I gotta prove to you that I am sexual. She about to start talking about some stuff that, ma'am, I thought you was a Christian.
That's a good point. Let's say another quiet part out loud. This could all be a lie. Like I'm gonna take her at her word because she didn't seem like she was doing anything opposite of it to this point. But yeah, with her language, with some of the things she said and her facial expressions, this could all be cap. Like a lot of these biddies don't come up here telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. She could be trying to make herself seem more Christian to be more inclined to be picked because Rick said he was a devout. And she really would let him smack in between somewhere. You know what I mean? She could be fronting her move the whole time too.
And that's a good point because as I rewatch this again, it feels like, again, like I said, with the bait, you're trying to reel him in with the Christianity. And that's not working. But hey, I'm sexual. I am a sexual being. I know what I'm doing, Rich. I've been out of here. I make your toes curl. That's why I had to stop, Rich, because
that was great. I was going to the Hall of Fame and all that. See, that type of deal.
So let's get into it because she's about to get to that part.
Okay, I think that's fair. I think honest on both accords. And let me ask this, and this might sound crazy to you, but could you date a man and your scenario is I'm not having sex unless I become your wife, but does he have to be abstinent as well, or can he entertain other women sexually?
The thing about that is, I mean, that allows, when he was speaking about soul ties, that allows way too much confusion.
Like that.
And, you know, as I say, I just want to be able to I want to be about my Father's business. I want to be able to make God happy. And when I heard him speaking of being or knowing God, I guess I was thinking that we're going, you know, the same way, as far as we're going to seek God first before we go further.
So for you, seeking God first means no sex. Like that's when you seek, like, so.
Mm-hmm. How can you hear him when you're distracted with that? You can't hear. Just like a fast, he goes to the gym.
That don't mean he don't want to hit it.
Hello.
Okay, let's just think about this for a second. Y'all seeking God together. Y'all on bended knee. Y'all T-bowing.
Mm-hmm. Scripture.
What y'all praying about? Like y'all seeking God together and y'all praying for what? Are we meant to be together? Can we hit it? Can we do it, God? Like, don't play with the Lord now. Don't play with the Lord. Like, it's not even something you gotta ask. We know what the scripture says about sex outside of marriage. Why you gotta ask about it? Y'all be trying to seek God so much. Oh, I need to hear from the Lord.
I mean, she was at the dark side. That's what that is.
The word of God is already, he had already spoke.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What we not understanding about
instructions.
That?
Right? They've been on here for years. They've been here for years.
Spoke.
So, but again, like what that tell you, when they go, you know, that's like not the last stitch effort, but it's one of them. You know, they bounce around. Look no further than Brittany Renner. How many religions she tried to fall back to and run off? Like that's like the ultimate trump card. So that tells me Miss Ann or Halapisha Williams probably was out there, way out there too. And she wants to go by. She needs instruction from God before she uses cat. That's what she says. Now, how long? Again, if we go back to what she said earlier, she said she had sex 4 years ago. Her last relationship was her child's father. Now, I don't know if that's the same person, but you were spreading that thing at some point. So I don't know. In the last few years of conscious, you've came to these rules and laws and you've locked down the shop. So I don't know. You know, I don't know. When we go that far, when women come to that extreme, like if that was your whole life and that was your whole get down. I don't have no kids. I'm no virgin. I might have did it one time. We might give you a pass, whatever's the case. But when you've got a little history and you've been, you know, out there, it sounds a little suspect when we've come to this holy, I'm not giving it up. I'm sitting on the cat, no kitty cat, meow, meow. Like it doesn't look as consistent as when we go back over your stats. So that says that, you know, Miss Williams was probably out there at some point. So she's trying to overcompensate and put the kitty on lockdown until she gets rings and all that. So let us continue.
Yeah. If you you know how you heal your body when you do the fast, at least about 3 days or whatnot. The same thing applies with sex. If you cannot abstain and fast your flesh, how can you hear if I'm the one or whatnot? You're distracted now because you're going off of superficial things rather than spiritual things. I lead my children the same way I'm talking, and you can ask either one of them. When I'm talking through God's principles. I read the Bible every single day because I have to know. I don't really know everything, but I have to know how to mother my children. And that's how I get my instruction. And so as I'm reading, I'm in Proverbs and all of that type thing. I'm trying to understand the better way to be a wife. You know what I mean? And just handing my goodies out to anybody because I want to see how big his thing. You know, I just, you know.
Alopecia, what now? I want to see how big his thing is. And look at Rich caught it. Kendra reminiscing. Oh, I remember that.
What that tell you?
It slipped. Right. Do y'all think that's a Freudian slip? What y'all think that was? I don't know. I want to see how big his thing is. Not how good it is. I want to see how big that thing.
And what you got going on? And
alopecia. I think we leaning towards she might have been out there. She might be out there. It slipped. Excuse me. Ooh, bring it back. I'm a
lady of the cloth now. Now you're lady of the
took
cloth.
Me back.
What do you think about that?
Rich caught it. Let's continue.
I don't know. I just know that I drink okra water, so it flows very well. It's like a geyser at times.
Oh,
what?
She said it's a geyser, my guy.
My geyser. She said my geyser is flying. It's flowing out here. You should see it. It's like the beginning of Married with Children. It's just waterfall flowing, pond. Wow.
What did I just say? She had strong convictions, and now she's talking about. Now it's she came in with the Christianity. Now we got to bring it back. Or I'm sexual, Rich.
Okra water.
My geyser.
Right. Shooting the geyser with okra water. Okay.
Wow.
I'm woman of the cloth.
Wow.
Kitty cat meow meow.
I'm really, again, as I rewatch this, I think that's the ploy. It was all a bait and switch, or whatever you want to call it. She was trying to reel Rich in. Christianity didn't work. She thought she was aligned with that, but figured out he ain't that type of Christian. And now she's trying to say, that's what I'm starting to believe. Y'all, let me know what y'all think. What y'all think?
Ski. Alopecia Willie.
Girl. Okay.
Okay, girl.
Okra water.
Listen, sitting 10 toes down. I respect that. I respect that.
I respect it too.
That ain't 10 toes. That's about 6 toes down.
You like it?
She's gonna have me waiting.
Right. 6 toes down, 4 is up.
Shit.
Your toes gonna be curled.
10 toes down. Word.
I'll twerk for you. I'll dance a little bit.
All right.
So hold on. So let's ask this. So abstain.
Yeah.
Is that everything? Abstain from everything. I saw you look at that.
Y'all saw that?
See how that swallow? She tightened that throat up.
Y'all saw that.
Man, listen, man. She bucked that throat. She cocked that shit back like a shotgun. End over end. She said,
y'all saw that.
What?
That lady swallowed hard.
Alopecia.
I think Kendra might be interested.
Right. You see the little Kendra got that little cartoon character. Like she got the little cartoon look like.
Everything's allegedly. Even my name is allegedly.
Right. This whole
even his podcast
is
allegedly.
Alopecia.
Here.
I'm just we're being political. So it's just a yes or no question. Is that it from everything, or we gonna be all right?
Clear the throat.
I can satisfy you. Just know that. But
I can love you. I can love you.
Oh, Mary. There's a Mary song for everything. Yeah.
There's a Mary song for everything. She telling Rich, I can love you.
This one left. Alopecia.
We started off with a woman that was strong in her convictions.
Well, she satisfied you. She cocked her throat back, okra water and squirting. Lord.
Wow, it's my geyser for you. That little boy gonna be asking, what's a geyser, Daddy? Okra water. What's okra water? Oh, he's gonna ask his mama probably. He's gonna go home and ask his mama. The lady, that bald-headed lady that's your friend on her show, Daddy went on a show. And it was a lady on there asking about okra water. What does that do?
And geysers.
and
Oh.
geysers.
I forgot little Rich is in there. 9 years old.
In there. And look at Rich. Rich is back interested, y'all. Look.
Yeah. See?
He's interested. She said she can satisfy him. And we know what that is. Give him a little top. So she's not giving the kitty cat meow meow, but it seems like she might give a little top.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, I'll tell you.
So when we say no sex, is it just? So I guess it's
vag.
It's the vag. It's not or backdoor and
right.
Probably not. Come on now. Strong convictions though. But it was just about the vag, apparently. Okay.
I guess.
That's what it sounds like to me. Y'all can let me know what y'all think. What y'all think?
She's throwing innuendo.
Yeah. So.
You know what I mean? Let me just leave it like that.
There you go.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. All right. All right, Ann. Okay, girlfriend, we're gonna put you back in the queue, okay? All right. Feel, girl.
Oh, I feel good. I'm okay.
Bye, Ann, with your freaky self.
Listen, what I would say to you is stay true to yourself. And what I do admire about you is you're very strong in your beliefs and you're standing 10 toes down, and I respect that. So hopefully, listen, Rich wasn't the one that right now the cousins are voting. So Rich wasn't the one that they voted for you, but maybe there's a guy watching that will be down. And also Rich wasn't down with your no sex until marriage plan.
You know, and at the end of the day, it's all about our relationship with Christ. If you're claiming something, you should hold true to that 1,000%, because when God comes back, that'll be the answer. Are you going to heaven?
I want to say this to that, because I do respect that, but I'm going to just be honest with y'all.
Here we go.
There's a lot of ways to respect God than just not having sex. So the only issue I kind of have with that sometimes is we make it seem like if you're not having sex, your God is going to be disappointed. There's a lot of rules when it comes to this, and I feel like when people bring up religion, and I respect it, but that means I'm gonna be looking at you to follow every single thing in the Bible, because it's just not that one thing. And I think that sometimes gets overlooked. I feel like when a person has their personal conviction to what the Bible might say on one page, and I respect it, but at the same time, there's more than one page.
There is. You're right. You're exactly right.
So I'm not saying that not having sex doesn't honor God or having sex doesn't honor God. There's a lot to that, but overall,
to work out. And there's absolutely no need to work out. If you're going to be having sex with people, there's no need for him to work out, because what are you conditioning? What do you mean? Because your mental is messed up now, because it's a soul tie that you're creating when you're having sex with people. And so therefore, if that person is not for you, but you want to try to fit in it and see if it fits for you, I feel like that's creating a soul tie with someone. And so, there's no need to work. Just be sloppy.
What do you mean just be sloppy?
Because you're literally giving your aura to someone that you may not end up with, because you want to test her out and see how y'all are sexually compatible. But mentally, you're forgetting that that's going to cause a situation, because women get attached before men.
Right. Now, first of all, I'm on the page with you with, I don't believe anybody should be tested out. I believe. So what do you think about, I know your stance is marriage. What do you think about committed relationship?
A committed relationship is fine, but I need to know that we are going somewhere. I don't want you saying after 3 times, then I need to.
So it isn't no sex until marriage. She'll do it in a committed relationship. That's what I'm hearing.
Did she just
as long as it's going headed towards marriage. Then why you didn't say
that? Maybe you might have been saved. I mean,
if that's truly what you're on, then say that. But it seemed like it didn't change now after she ain't got booted off. Now it's changing. Rich.
Rich. Come back. Or maybe she thinking about the others, Because Kendra said, oh, another guy, but after you talk about gazing into the dimples and all that, like, I don't think too many dudes are going to be wanting to be second, third, fourth, fifth place in this whole deal, you know? That's what I think. So I don't know. You know, she's probably trying to cover her tracks for anybody who might come along after. Maybe so. Or maybe she thought about it in another way. But the pushback, like if that's what she's standing on, that's what she's standing on. Kendra gonna try to put a committed relationship with the marriage. That's not the same thing. Okay? She said marriage. There's no need to say, oh, well, the committed relationship. Everybody doesn't subscribe to that thinking. And she even said, okay, so we're in a committed relationship. He hit it 3 times. We ain't in a relationship no more. That's it. You already gave up the goods. Like it doesn't matter. Like, I don't know. Kendra's whole relationship without sex thing is just to serve her own ego. It has no real production, any value to anybody else. That's for her. So I don't know. Anyway, let's continue.
Hey, cut you because it didn't work out after the 3rd time. It still wasn't right. Or I don't know what I was trying to follow what he was saying, but
I think what he was saying to that was the situationship. Like if you had sex 3 times and y'all haven't agreed to be exclusive, that's not good. But what I'm asking you is this: I know your conviction is you're not going to have sex until you're married. Would you what are your stance on, I guess, just people in general being in committed relationships and having sex? What's your thoughts on that?
Trying to get her to agree with her.
I want to be honest, Kendra. I've gotten to a point where if that's how they want to live their lives, then that's just how they want to live their lives. I'm not going to do it because I understood exactly what it did to me the last time, even though it was 9 years ago. I thought I was in a committed relationship at the time, and I had a ring. I was engaged. However, the issue is I end up pregnant too soon. Too soon, and I had a bad pregnancy. So therefore, I could not put out during my pregnancy because my uterus was falling out, literally. And so, because of that situation.
Ma'am, now we do not need to, we need to know about your uterus hanging out. We need to know you like that. And now I feel like we've been intimate because now we know you intimately.
Right. Definitely ain't trying to know you that well. And I mean, we could have left that behind the closed doors. But the same thing could have befell you had you got married. Just realistically, you could have had the same issue with a wedding ring on instead of an engagement ring. Same thing could happen to you. Right? I mean, I'm just saying, being practical here. But anyway, let us continue.
He went elsewhere because I could not do it. I was sick. I was bedridden. So,
right. Yeah. Okay. No, listen, again, I respect that. So now let me keep it 1,000 with y'all for a second. So I've been doing this show for 6 years, and I've had men that came on this show. Literally, I've had men that came on the show that have your stance of not having sex until marriage. And what I've come to terms is most of the times, those are not the men that you ladies want. Those are not the men. When that guy, I have had several men on my platform that speaks your language, but you caught in because you said when you saw Rich, it was his dimples, it was his attraction. And I think but a man like Rich, it's almost kind of crazy to think that he might comply to that when he has all these women that are coming at him. And I feel.
Wait a minute, Kendra. She thought that he would comply to that because she thought he was a Christian.
True.
Again, like I said before, she thought he was on the same spiritual level as her. Like she thought he had the same convictions as her. He didn't.
No, by far. And she said it's crazy to think a man like Rich who has all the attributes. Well, it's just as crazy to think he would be on this show seriously if he had all those attributes. Like, she was hyping Rich to hell. You could tell they cool. You can definitely tell they cool. She was hyping this dude for weeks. And even on the show, like, if that's the case, if he's all that in a fat bag of Lay's, What the hell is he doing here for you to have a contest for him to get laid? He could go get laid anywhere if he was moving like that. Shit, I mean, come on, man. Let's be real. Like, don't try to flip it on her. Oh, it's for you to think that. Like, come on, get out of here, man. Anyway, let's continue.
Like sometimes women, and I respect it, but y'all choose men who that's just like really not realistic for that guy because he's so desired and has so many options. But when the guy who is on that page, who will wait for marriage to have sex, y'all don't be wanting him. And that's what that's what I have learned from this show from the 6 years. I have plenty of men that speak that language, and I know you would not spend a day with him if I introduced you.
Well, I do thank you, Kendra. This has been an amazing time. I will not be back on here. I will watch, but I will not be back on for anything because I feel like, when God said instantly to me, I thought this was it, but maybe I was wrong. And I'm still waiting, but I kept hearing it's going to happen for you instantly. So that's what I was assuming when you said married in an hour. And I was just like, maybe this is.
God said that?
God said that?
It's going to happen instantly.
Man, listen, man.
That's
what God they be talking to? Why would he tell you that? Like, but he would tell you to wait, but it's going to happen instantly. That's like a conflict of interest. What do you mean it's going to happen instantly?
Nah, let's wrap this up.
Please, man.
Okay, so you would have preferred to have gotten married in an hour without ever meeting him in person.
The way that the first show was.
Right. So for you, that makes more sense to marry a man that you never met in your lifetime and touched. That would make more sense to you.
Well, based on what he was saying, it tied up into what I wanted. He's a Christian, as he said.
Right, but you still but here's the thing, marriage is not to play, right? And I feel like I want to just have this real talk. Like marriage is a real thing. And I think that what happens is people live in fantasy land when it comes to marriage because they're just thinking of the Disney World situation. But there's so many, like you have children. He has a child. So It's like for you, you're telling me it makes more sense for you to align yourself with a man that you have never met as a mother, and you're going to agree for this man who you have never met to be the stepfather to your children. That made more sense to you.
No, I was listening to what he said, and him being a great father and him being saved or a Christian, I was thinking that, we're going to follow the same principles as far as.
Right. No, but you're skipping over the question because you said you thought this was married in an hour and that's what you desired. And I hear you, but I'm trying to get the clarity of how does that make more sense to you as a mother of two children to agree to marry a man that you never met in life? How does that make more sense to you? I want to understand the Christian mindset of that because I think that we got to get out of this fantasy land of marriage. And then I feel like more people can get more results instead of the fantasy vision of it than the reality.
You're right.
That's all. I mean, just food for thought. But I do wish you the best, and I think you're dope.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
She said all of that to fight against her whole concept of married in the hour. All them biddies that you had up there that was single moms, even the dude, Turtle Man, was a single dad. So like she's trying to argue against this lady. It makes more sense for you to get married as a single mom of two. That's your whole premise of the show. And that's what I was about to say. You was trying to say that this was going to be married in an hour, but you didn't. Then you changed it for the love of rich. Mm-hmm. Like you tried the rebuttal against this lady, and that's your whole concept of the show. What I'm saying.
She tried to chastise the lady for participating in the show that she created. Just think about that. And she what you talking about? This is the premise of the show this is your creation, and we're going to chastise her. We can do that. We didn't create the show. I don't host. I'm just critiquing. We're doing a commentary. You know what I mean? She's the one who created this, and she's basically chastise the lady for participating in it.
Yeah,
that's Kendra for you, man. but like I said, man, I know we went a little long on this one, but we just wanted to touch on the interaction she had. And mind you, this interaction was during, For the Love of Rich, the broadcast, as you see. So this is why I ran over. We had technical difficulty. It was just a master class of foolishness, is what it was. So, Queen, you want to add anything before we sign out?
I want to say, if her convictions was that strong and that was important to her, like she said it was, then you would need to be in a space that facilitates that. Again, a Christian dating app, a church, or Christian singles, wherever group that's meeting up. You cannot come into the world and expect to find the kingdom.
Right.
Come on now. Even though Rich said he was this and that, like, the part about the show is that you don't get to ask the man, the guest, you don't get to ask him any questions. Maybe if she would have got to ask, talk to him, you could see, okay, we're not on the same spiritual level. I can't do this, So she thought Rich was on the same level. He not.
Right.
And, and then to me, it just seemed like she was going with the Christianity to bait, and then she switched it up to say she was non-sexual. Well, she's sexual, and to see if that worked. Nothing worked. He wasn't feeling you. You just lost him. I don't know. That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm leaning towards. Was maybe the play, but maybe she was really. She really is sincere about her faith. I don't know. Y'all drop down in the comments and let us know which one y'all think, or do y'all have a different perspective?
Yeah, true indeed. So, again, just wanted to touch on that. You know how we do. You guys know the slogan. We had some fun with this one. We might break down another interaction from the show, but if not, you can go check out. We covered the contest for the love of Rich, and we'll be back soon with some more bangers. You guys be safe out there. We love y'all. Take it easy. We catch y'all on the next one.